If your garden turns crispy and brown the moment a heat wave rolls in, while your neighbor's beds stay green through the same dry spell, here is something worth knowing. It is almost never about how much water you have. It is about how your soil holds it and how your roots reach for it. Most beginners lose plants in a drought for one simple reason. They water the way that feels caring, and it is exactly the way that makes plants weak. In the next 10 minutes, I will walk you through 10 drought-proof habits that horticulture researchers and university extension programs actually recommend. These are not tricks. They are the same principles that keep professional landscapes alive through water restrictions, and they work in any climate, in raised beds, in borders, and in containers. Let us start with the habit that changes everything. Tip number 1, water deeply and water rarely. This is the single most important change you can make, and it is the one most beginners get wrong. When you give your plants a light sprinkle every day, the water only wets the top inch of soil. The roots learn that water lives near the surface, so they stay shallow and lazy. Then the first hot, dry week arrives. That top inch bakes dry, and the shallow roots have nothing to fall back on. The fix is to water heavily, but far less often. A long, slow soak that reaches 6 to 10 inches down trains roots to grow downward, chasing the moisture deeper into the soil. Deep roots are drought insurance. A general rule from extension horticulturists is that most established gardens need around 1 inch of water per week, delivered in 1 or 2 deep soakings rather than 7 shallow ones. Before we go further, a quick word about why I made this video. Everything I'm sharing today is free, and it will genuinely help your garden, but there is only so much I can fit into 10 minutes. For the people who want the complete system, I put together a companion guide called the Drought Resilient Garden Code. It takes every habit in this video and turns it into a step-by-step plan with watering schedules, soil recipes, and plant charts by climate zone. The link is the first one in the description. I will mention it once or twice more, then leave you alone with the tips. Back to the garden. Tip number 2, water at the right time of day. This one costs you nothing and saves a surprising amount of water. If you water in the heat of the afternoon, a large share of it evaporates before it ever soaks in. Water early in the morning instead, when the air is cool and still. The soil has the whole day to draw the moisture down to the roots, and the foliage dries quickly, which lowers the risk of fungal disease. Evening watering is a distant second choice because leaves that stay wet overnight invite mildew and rot. Morning is the quiet, boring, deeply effective answer. Tip number 3, mulch like your garden depends on it because it does. A 2 to 3 inch layer of organic mulch is one of the most powerful drought tools you have. Bark, wood chips, straw, or shredded leaves all work. Mulch acts like a blanket over the soil. It slows evaporation dramatically, it keeps the root zone cooler during heat, and it smothers the weeds that would otherwise steal your water. As that organic mulch slowly breaks down, it feeds the soil and improves its ability to hold moisture over time. One important detail, keep the mulch pulled back a few inches from the base of stems and trunks so trapped moisture does not cause rot. A ring of mulch, not a volcano against the stem. Tip number 4, build your soil into a sponge. This is the habit that separates gardens that merely survive a drought from gardens that barely notice it. Sandy soil drains too fast and dries out in hours. Heavy clay sheds water before it can soak in. The cure for both is the same, organic matter. Compost, well-rotted manure, decayed leaves all increase what soil scientists call the water holding capacity of your soil. Research from university extension programs shows that raising soil organic matter immeasurably increases how much water each square foot of soil can store and release to roots. Work an inch or 2 of compost into your beds each year, and over a few seasons, your soil turns from a leaky bucket into a reservoir. Tip number 5, group your plants by thirst. Professionals call this hydrozoning, and it is simply common sense made into a plan. Do not scatter your thirsty plants among your tough, dry, loving ones. If you do, you are forced to overwater the whole bed just to keep the thirsty ones happy, which wastes water and rots the drought-tolerant plants. Instead, put the thirstiest plants together, ideally near a downspout or the easiest water source. Give the largest areas of your garden over to low-water shrubs, perennials, and grasses. Now each zone gets exactly what it needs, and nothing gets drowned to rescue its neighbor. Tip number 6, water the roots, not the air. How you deliver water matters as much as when. Overhead sprinklers throw water into the air, where wind and sun steal a big share before it lands. And what does land often sits on the leaves instead of reaching the roots? Drip irrigation and soaker hoses solve this. They deliver water slowly and directly to the soil at the base of each plant, where the roots can actually drink it. You lose far less to evaporation, you keep the foliage dry, and you can leave a simple timer to do the work for you in the cool morning hours. For a beginner, a basic soaker hose snaked through a bed is one of the cheapest, highest impact upgrades you can make. We are past the halfway point, and these next 4 habits are the ones most beginners have never heard. If the whole system laid out in order would help you, the Drought Resilient Garden Code in the first link of the description does exactly that. It is the companion to this video. That is the last time I will mention it. Now let us keep going. Tip number 7, pull your weeds and do not skip this. Weeds are not just ugly, they are thieves. Every weed in your bed is pulling water and nutrients out of the same soil your plants are trying to survive on. During a drought, that stolen water can be the difference between a plant that holds on and a plant that gives up. Stay on top of weeding, especially in dry spells, and you hand that water back to the plants you actually want. A bed, kept clean and mulched, loses far less moisture than a bed left to the weeds. Tip number 8, stop fertilizing during a drought. This one feels backwards, so let me explain it. When you fertilize, you push the plant to put out lush new growth. That tender new growth is thirsty and it demands far more water than the plant can supply when the soil is already dry. So feeding a stressed plant in a drought does not help it. It forces it to grow exactly when it should be conserving. Hold off on fertilizer during hot, dry stretches, and let your plants ride out the stress in a calm, steady state. Feed them again when cooler, wetter weather returns and they can actually use it. Tip number 9, choose plants that are built for dry conditions. You can save yourself an enormous amount of watering simply by planting things that do not need much. Drought-tolerant plants give themselves away by their looks. Silver or gray foliage, small or narrow leaves, fuzzy or waxy surfaces, and aromatic oils all signal a plant that loses water slowly. Many also store water in fleshy leaves or stems, or send roots deep to find it. For beginners, forgiving choices like lavender, thyme, sedum, and Russian sage thrive on near neglect once established. Wherever you can, choose plants native to your region. They evolved to handle your local dry spells without any help from you. Tip number 10, learn to read your soil before you water. Most beginners water on a schedule, or they water the moment the surface looks dry. Both wastewater can drown plants. The surface always dries first, while the soil below may still be perfectly moist. So check before you reach for the hose. Push a screwdriver or a trowel a few inches into the soil near the roots. If it slides in easily and the soil feels cool and damp, your plants are fine, so leave them be. If it is hard to push in and the soil feels dry down at root level, then it is time for a deep soak. This one habit, checking instead of guessing, will save you more water and more plants than almost anything else on this list. So there you have it. 10 drought-proof habits, all grounded in real horticultural science. Water deeply and rarely. Water in the morning. Mulch well. Build your soil with organic matter. Group plants by thirst. Water the roots directly. Keep the weeds out. Skip fertilizer in a drought. Plant for dry conditions. And read your soil before you water. Do even half of these consistently, and your garden will hold up through dry spells that would have flattened it before. If you want the complete plan, with watering schedules, soil recipes, and plant charts organized by climate zone, the Drought Resilient Garden Code is the first link in the description. But the 10 habits in this video are yours to use starting today. No purchase required. If this helped you, subscribe to the channel so the next dry season finds you ready. I will see you in the next one.